So what brought you to poetry? Has it always been your main writing outlet, or did you start with other genres?
Poetry is something I've always done without realizing I was doing it. My family, I should say my grandmother, on my dad's side, I remember her as being sort of an inherently poetic person. You know, she was always sort of talking in nursery rhymes, you know, to us as children. She would write these children's poems that she would have us memorize, and we'd like perform them for her. So I think as a kid, you sort of get used to these rhythms or these certain sort of rhyme schemes that are almost, you know, in your bones by the time you're, you know, 7 years old. So it wasn't until I was in university and I took a introduction to poetry class with one professor who just had this beautiful way of talking about poetry. And I remember, actually, yeah, she had us memorize, we had to memorize 30 poems in the semester. And the first poem I picked was Meditation at Lagunitas by Robert Haas. And I remember memorizing that and reciting it for her, and something in me was just like, I want to write whatever that is. I really love it. And
congratulations on winning the Bronwen Wallace Award in 2020. That's a big deal.
Thank you.
And it was for an as yet to be published book, Selections from Winter Stars, visible in December.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about the genesis of that work and perhaps how it connects to your grandmother?
I had pulled out a drawer and sort of found in it this weird envelope. It's this little envelope here. You can kind of see. It's just small, but it has this beautiful script on it. And it just says Winter Stars visible in December. And it was so inherently poetic. I was like, what is this? So I opened it, and there was these notes inside that were sort of detailing the movements of the planets and the stars, and it was so strange to me. And I took it to my mom, and I was like, what is this? Like, who wrote this? And she was like, well, I don't really know. We don't know for sure, but I've seen this before, and I think it's your grandmother's handwriting. So this is my mother's mother. And that really astonished me, because I remember her as being a very quiet person. She was, you know, she didn't share a lot about her life with us, and her life remains very mysterious to us. And so, you know, admittedly, I don't know if she wrote them or not, these notes, but the idea that she could have, or that someone so private could be having this enormous interior world that was in love with the planets and the stars and astrology and astronomy and all, how they move, like, that was so moving to me. And when I had an opportunity to do the residency in Margate, which was a special time on its own, you know, it was just quiet. I was by the sea, and it was the first time I had the space to sit with these notes. And I just sort of put them on the table and started kind of writing little poems, little tercettes, little notes around them. And then about halfway through the residency, I woke up at, like, in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. and I just felt like I need to write. I need to get to my computer. And I've never had that feeling before. It was new for me. And the poem almost came out fully in that night. You know, I've returned to edit it, and it's taken different permutations even since then, but the bulk of it came out that night. And it was sort of like waiting, always, like, it was always waiting to come out at that moment. It feels like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's very mysterious, and I've not had that since.